So, dads, you made it to the Easter holidays. And congratulations, you not only made it to the Easter holidays, you made it through the Easter holidays too. And here you are, back, that first week back after those Easter holidays. Now, look, I say congratulations because for some of you, I know it was a struggle. You clambered and crawled your way to the Easter holidays because you were stressed, you were overwhelmed by that massive to-do list that you've got that's never ending. And it's exhausting. And you just wanted to get to the break so you can recharge, spend time with your family. Let's be honest. I'm sure that there were good times. I hope that there was good times with your family over the Easter break. But I also know that for some of you, those thoughts of work kept creeping in. Maybe in the quiet moments when you're just having a quiet moment by yourself, or maybe you're staring at the ceiling at night, worrying, thinking about work, or maybe you're with your family and your mind just drifts off, so you're not really present with them. You're just thinking and worrying about work, about how much you've got to do, how much is still on the list, whether you've forgotten something, whether things are getting done in your absence, what you're going to be coming back to. Maybe you know what you're going to be coming back to and you're dreading that. All these thoughts get in the way of us enjoying that quality family time. And the fact that we kind of entered into the holiday all stressed and exhausted hasn't helped us either. So in this moment, when the holiday is over and we're back to work, I've got a really serious question for you. What are you going to do different? And I don't mean what are you going to do different job-wise, although for some of you, I'm sure that's something that's crossed your mind, and that's a separate conversation we can have. What I'm talking about is what are you going to do differently and think differently about work, about your approach to your workload, that never-ending to-do list. Just let that sink in for a minute. You're trying to get to the end of a never-ending to-do list. So what are you going to do differently between now and the next school holiday so that you don't go into that one stressed, overwhelmed, frustrated, exhausted, and then not able to fully enjoy your quality time with your family? What are you going to do differently between now and the next holiday? As it stands in the UK, I think the next school holiday is 5 weeks away. What are you going to do differently? One of my mentors, Tony Robbins, has got one of my favorite quotes. He said, if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. And that's based off a quote from Einstein that says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So let's be honest here. This isn't just a one-off this Easter. I'm sure that you've been reaching every school holiday for months, maybe even years. I know about that. I spent 2 decades just crawling to the next holiday, the next break. What are you going to do differently? Because you're going to have to do something differently. Far be it from me to go against what Tony and Einstein say. It's very true in pretty much every area of life. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result. And if you want a different result, if you keep doing the same thing, then you're not going to get that different result. But here's what I know about certainly work stress from my experience and from observing what's happened to many other people and those that I've helped. When it comes to stress, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you keep having the same strategy for getting through all the work, which, let's be honest, is I'm going to work harder and longer. Call me out on that if that's not true. But generally speaking, our default strategy when we're overwhelmed and there's a to-do list that's just never ending, our default is, well, I just got to put in the time and the effort. I got to work harder and longer. But isn't that what you've been doing for quite some time now? And it's getting to this cycle of stress all of the time. So we need to figure out, what can we do differently? How can we think about this differently? And I know for some of you, you're like, I don't have the time or the energy to take on lots of new stuff and figure this stuff out. I've got to do. And I get it. But if you keep doing this cycle of, I'm just going to work harder and longer, trying to get to the end of a never ending to-do list, just let that sink in for a minute. You're trying to get to the end of a never ending to-do list. If you keep on this cycle, I promise you, it's a fast pass to burnout. And I don't want that for you. Your family doesn't want that for you. So you've got to figure something out that's just slightly different. And I'm not talking about radically different. What I've learned over my 25 years, the past 25 years, 20 years in corporate and 5 years being a business owner, trying to figure this stuff out, I've realized it is simple things, simple shifts that we can put into place immediately that make a significant difference. Not something you've got to master for months and months, but you've got to know them in order to put them into place. And the thing is, this stuff doesn't tend to get taught at school or university or even at work. It should be. It's kind of what you wait until you're burnt out and you fall over, and then you get all the great strategies that will work. It's like, that's the wrong way around. So that's why I'm here to help you. And I know it's tough. And I know that you want to break this cycle. So if I may I suggest two things? Number one, can we make a decision today? Can you make a decision today that enough is enough? This is the moment. I'm now committed to breaking this relentless cycle of stress and clambering and crawling into the next break, not thoroughly enjoying my time with my family, getting distracted. Now's the time. I'm gonna make this change now. I'm committed to doing what it takes to break this cycle. Enough is enough. In fact, why don't you make a public declaration? Whatever the post is that brought you here, why don't you, in that post, why don't you put in big capital letters, maybe a number of exclamation marks afterwards too. Just go, enough is enough. Or if you don't want to publicly declare it, why don't you send me a message behind the scenes and go, Martin, you're right. Enough is enough. This has to change. Can we make that decision now? Because every improvement you want to make starts with a decision to make that improvement. So my suggestion number one is, let's say enough is enough. And I'd love to see those comments that say, right, you're right, Martin, enough is enough. The second suggestion that I make is that I know that when we're like this, what we don't know is how to change. We don't know what it is that we need to do differently. Because if we already knew, then we'd already be doing it, right? So I get that. And I also know that, when we're in this kind of mindset, it's very difficult to go, oh, personal coaching or big shiny programs, or I don't know, and I haven't got time and energy. What I discovered was, what we need at this stage, we just need some reassurance that there's a roadmap out of this, that there is a path, there is a way out of this relentless work stress cycle. So I've put together a free PDF, a one-pager, something really easy that I know you've got time to see, and it's visual, there's not a lot of words, but it gives you the path, it gives you the roadmap out of stress. And maybe right now, that's what you just need. You need to make that decision that, you know what, enough is enough. But you just need some reassurance that there is actually a step-by-step roadmap that you can follow and that you can get out of this cycle of stress. I've put it together. You can download it now for free. Take a look, breathe it in, understand and be reassured that there is a way out of this. And then, then we can figure out the next steps. But right now, it's decision time. And right now, it's time to get that roadmap that maybe you haven't had before. And it'd be my absolute privilege to help you in this moment. Good luck. I can't wait to help you more. I can't wait to serve you. I can't wait to see all those comments saying enough is enough.